All right, coaches, welcome to the best of the best in the West. Today we're featuring an incredible coach who just recently moved to Idaho. So of all places to move to, maybe she can talk a little bit about that. First of all, I just want to kind of hit a couple of announcements, make sure we're all on the same page. Hopefully you've seen now that the Success Club Prize this month is called the Extreme Success Club Prize, because if you win it, you're going to end up with P90X, P90X2, and P90X Plus as a Success Club prize. So making sure that you're all on track with Success Club. And then I wanted to also point out just special that, Carl's got this, for every challenge pack sold this month, he's going to donate $5 to the International Justice Mission. If we are able to sell 100,000 challenge packs or help 100,000 people, with challenge packs, then he'll double it to $10, which will be $1 million donation. So I just wanted to kind of make sure that that's out there and the people are aware of it. Well, with that being said, I want to jump right into this call. Again, our speaker today is Superstar Diamond Coach. She's number 11 of 350,000 plus coaches in the entire network, Miss Micah Folsom. So Micah, welcome to the call. And what we're going to have you do is start out by, telling people a little bit about your story, and then we'll kind of dive into kind of how you build the business and what you do. So, Micah, I will turn it to you.
All right. First of all, I want to just say hi to everyone. I can see y'all. Hey. It's fun to be on the call, and I was just telling Doug earlier earlier this week when he asked me to talk, I'm like, dude, Doug, I don't have any secrets. I don't do anything cool. And after going after Amy and Eden and Raina and all these other coaches, I'm like, they got stuff covered. I don't have anything to talk about. So I hope you guys have questions, because it might be a short call if you don't. But a little bit about me. I signed up to coach in July of 2013, so just over 2 years ago. I was a Beachbody lover before that for years. I did Insanity like 4 or 5 times. I did 10-Minute Trainer was my very first program after I had my first baby. And I didn't know about the coaching opportunity at all until I got into a challenge group with my sponsor, who I just found on Instagram. I was just searching, I think Les Mills Combat was what I was searching for, because I needed something before T25 came out. And so I got into a challenge group for like a week, fell in love with Shakeology, wanted the discount, messaged my coach and was like, hey, I want to coach. Can you help me get signed up? And she's like, oh, well, okay. And so I got signed up, and it kind of took like a week to get the paperwork done and all this stuff. And it kept having mistakes and all this crap happened, and it was terrible. But by the day I signed up, I announced that I was doing a challenge group and was stoked, and got my challenge group filled with, 10 challengers, and hit Success Club 25 to 30 in my first month, and just thought that was normal. I didn't know anything about the business. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know about network marketing. I didn't know anything. I just knew I was in a challenge group, and I'm going to run challenge groups because it's what you do, and it's how you help people with challenge packs, not just with the program, because I wanted them to check out Shakeology, because I would have never paid $130 for just Shakeology. And the only reason I got it was because it was on sale with Les Mills Combat. And so I didn't know what I was doing, and that's honestly how my business has evolved. Is I didn't have any top training or anything like that. I did Mindy Wender's as soon as I signed up. Mindy Wender is my 4 generations up coach, and she happened to be doing her very first Star Diamond in 60 days training, and my sponsor was like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? And I'm like, sure, I might as well. And so I was a full-time wedding photographer at the time, crazy busy, crazy, a session every single night, and then I'd have weddings on the weekend. And my husband was like, you are freaking ridiculous for signing up and for wanting to add one more thing. And I'm like, it won't take any extra time. It'll just keep me accountable, and it's whatever. And he was like, whatever. So anytime I was editing, I was listening to training calls. Anytime I was at the computer doing stuff. I was listening to YouTube videos and just trying to like soak everything up and figure out what the heck I just signed up for. Like I had no idea. I'm like, how does this even work? And so I was doing Mindy's training, which was just one call a week. So it was 6 training calls from coaches covering like social media and just like really general, but like good topics that you want to know about. And then she had a competition every single week. And so I'm really competitive. And like if there's a free t-shirt or something involved, like I'm going to go balls to the wall and get that t-shirt. And so that really, I think, helped me gain momentum fast. And I didn't know much about the network marketing and building a team side, but I knew that from what I had learned in my training calls and whatever that I had found on YouTube, I knew that that was where the income potential was and like where the magic happened. So all I did was run challenge groups. And then when I had challengers that were loving Shakeology or were doing awesome in the group, I was like, hey, you should coach with me because it's awesome. It's fun. That's how I got started. So this is how you should get started. And that, like, I think I went diamond in like 37 days without knowing what the heck I was doing. It was just, I knew that I signed up because I was in a challenge group and I loved it. And so I was duplicating that. I was duplicating what I knew. And then I was getting my coaches running challenge groups and hitting Success Club and doing those things. And so it just kind of picked up really quick. So yeah, that's my story. My husband, like a little bit more about my family. My husband, we were in vet school at the time, which was one of my biggest whys and like my biggest push goals was we were going to be probably over $100,000 in debt with student loans and all that stuff and living and blah, blah, blah. So my big push goal was to graduate vet school debt-free without any student loans or anything. And so that's what pushed me to go above and beyond the like no matter what's and push past those. And we did it. We graduated without any debt. We were able to move into our dream home right out of school instead of like 10 or 15 years down the road. And it's just been a big blessing. And now we're pregnant with baby number 3, due in about 3 weeks. So that's exciting.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. So I'll start the first question. And guys, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat and we'll kind of go from there. But I've got a couple written down that I wanted you to cover. Just clear, you said you started with challenge groups. So that was kind of how it all began. And I love that it was very simple. Talk about what is it now? I mean, is it different? Is it the same? What are you doing different today than what you were doing back in the beginning?
No. Okay. And that was one of I like wrote some key points in case no one had any questions and I just had to fulfill it. So one of my main things is to keep your business simple and to not overcomplicate things. I think because I didn't know what was going on and I didn't have systems in place or all these things that I've now created for my team, those weren't in place. So I was just winging it. And I was just like, hey, we'll run challenge groups, sell challenge packs, and then I'll sign up a few coaches from there. And then I'll get them doing the same thing. They'll run challenge groups with me. They'll sell challenge packs, and then they'll get some coaches to sign up with them. And that is it. Like, we didn't have trainings. We didn't have anything. Like, that's what our focus was, simply being a part of the product and sharing it, and then helping people get started. And so I think now there really are so many awesome trainings that sometimes it's like, for new coaches, they're like, holy crap, what do I even focus on? Like, I don't know where to get started, and they're all overwhelmed. And so that's one thing that I've tried to stress with my new coaches, even though now we still focus on those same things that I did at the beginning. I've since created a 21-day training and Emerald to Diamond training and have these things in place for my new coaches so that they have all the essential stuff that I felt like it's not anything like Coach Basics. I'm really bad at following stuff like that. So I just created my own with my success partner. And we just did videos and stuff for what we felt like was super essential to growing long-term in the business. And so we've got that in place for our new coaches. But what I really stress is be a challenger, share your journey, and just try and help a couple people. And you can't be afraid of reaching out. Like, I haven't done things normally, I guess. Like, I don't do the, when, I don't know if I should be sharing this. That's another thing, is that I felt like there was right ways to run the business after I started learning what people were doing and what top coaches were like, you have to do this and you have to do that. And I'm like, frick, I don't do that crap. And then I'm like, maybe I'm doing it wrong. And I'm like, whatever, it's working, so screw it. So I don't do things by the book. I don't do GSR calls. I hate talking on the phone. And when I get on the phone, my kids are crazy. And so that just doesn't work for me. So I gave it 1 month because it was coming. I just kept hearing it. GSR calls, you have to do it, blah, blah, blah. They're so important. They're crucial. And so I'm like, okay, I'll give it a month. I'll do it. So for 1 month, I did a GSR call with each of my new coaches, and they were awesome. Like, I was like connecting with them and hearing their whys. And I was like, this is okay. I see it. I see why. And the freaking next month they all quit. And I'm like, hey, screw it. I just wasted all that time and all that energy with these coaches who I felt like were going to be emotionally attached and like invested. And then they were just like, it's not for me. Like, it's too hard. I'm over it. And so I'm like, screw GSR calls. They obviously aren't for me. And so you just got to find what works for you and be consistent with it. Like, that is the one thing that I've done from the beginning, is consistency in the littlest things. And I've built my entire business around just connecting with people, building genuine relationships, and being consistent with my journey and sharing that and being real about it. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm obviously not a trainer. I'm not certified in anything. I'm not a nutritionist. I am just a normal mom who, this is what works for me, and I'm sharing it and then offering to help motivate people to get started. And so the consistency is what I feel like has made the difference. Consistency in building relationships on Instagram and doing the behind the scenes stuff that lots of people aren't willing to do. I know some of the top coaches get a bad rap for, oh, well, I can never be a top coach because I don't do lead wheels and I don't do this crap and I don't have a blog and I don't have all these people coming to me. Like, it is not like that. I post something and I don't have 40 or 50 emails coming in. I'll have like 1 or 2, like here and there, trickle in. And I'm just in the trenches doing what I teach my coaches to do every single day. And I just do it consistently. And the more you build your audience and the more eyes you have on your social media accounts and all those things, obviously the faster it grows and the more consistently it grows. So, but it's just baby steps every single day. And that's what we focus on throughout our entire organization.
Okay, so along those lines, before I jump to some of these questions, and you've covered a couple of them, but my question would be, where I think you're unique, I love the concept of keeping it simple, and I love the concept of teaching duplication and consistency. I mean, obviously, those are, key to your business. My question for you would be, when you first started out building this business, how did you not fall into the management mode and the training mode and all, because it seems like most diamonds build to diamond or to 2-star, 1-star, whatever it is. And then something flips to where they're all about their team and now they're just in their team, and they lose sight of recruiting. So yeah. My question would be, how did you stay on that recruiting side and not get buried in the other side?
I know that there was like a transition where I could have definitely fallen into that. And I felt myself like letting my business activities go because I was spending so much time invested in my leaders and my coaches who were needing help. And I was like, how do you freaking do both? Like, and I felt like once you get to diamond, you're like, hey, I can't grow or advance until these people grow. So I need to invest, and that's where my time needs to be. But that, I feel like, is what will blow your business up, is if once you go into leadership mode, that's not something you do instead. That's something you add on to everything you were doing to get you there. So it's not like, okay, well, I've done my power of threes and I do all these things to build my business. So I'm here and all of a sudden I have to work with my coaches and help them build. No, you have to do all the essentials every single day for your business, plus add on the mentoring and the motivating and the training and all those things that you need to do as a leader to help them progress. So I don't know. And I feel like maybe you could do a little bit less. I don't know. You could do things less in certain areas, but my whole mentality was like I wanted to go balls to the wall for a few years and then be able to back off a bit and raise because my kids were like, there's 4 and 6 now. So they were at ages where they would play together and they would entertain themselves and they would do things where I could be more involved in my business, where I knew as soon as vet school was over, we were going to get pregnant and we were going to have more kids. And I didn't want to be in that mode for a long time. So I would have rather busted it out. And then we can kind of go into not maintenance mode at all. That's not my mentality that's not how I am as a person, yeah. But at least take a step back and not be so worky, because I was at home and I was building the business in between everything else that was going on, but I was very much, I was probably working 4 to 6 hours a day at least, spread out through the cracks. So, and that's not how I want to be. I've worked so hard so that I can live free and have freedom and be able to do like 1 hour a day and just be consistent with that and have it, So I think, I can't remember what you asked me, but I think that it's important that this business is so moldable to what you want it to be. And you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, all these coaches are doing this and they're moving this fast and they're doing whatever. Who cares? Like, do what works for you, move at your own pace, grow at your own rate. And that is what is the magic of the business, is that you can make it whatever you want it to be. So,
okay. So along those lines, to go back to, Colleen Eddy's question, just to kind of cover some of this, I want to make, I think this is a good point that we've learned in some of these other calls. Do you talk to your new coaches? Do you kind of mother them? Are you kind of more aggressive with them? Are you just expect more of them? It seems like there's lots of different ways to approach the new coach that says, I want to build this business. What is your approach to that?
Okay, so I've learned a lot in 2 short years. Last year, when I was pushing for top 10, I wasn't pushing for top 10 until like maybe December, when we were sitting at 11. And I'm like, dude, we're too close. We got to freaking make it happen. So I was in the mode where for my business to grow, I had to recruit like a boss and get those coaches started off right. So top 10 just went hand in hand with what I needed to do for my business at that point, because we were such a baby team. And so I was so focused on when someone told me they wanted to build a business, like we've built our team around Success Club, like the culture of Success Club and how important that is. And so that was something that I was like really focusing on and working closely with all my new coaches to get them hitting Success Club, Success Starters, those types of things. But it was exhausting to the point where, since top 10 is based around elite points and Success Club and all that stuff, it was like dragging some people who were like, I want this, I have these big goals. And so I was wanting it more for them than they really were wanting it for themselves and willing to work for themselves. And that was exhausting. And so now, top 10 we won't be able to go to the Bora Bora trip because I'll be nursing. And so as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I'm like, hey, screw top 10. I'm going to build for volume. I'm going to build my husband's business, my mom's business, and develop some elite coaches, because I knew that I wanted to invest in my leaders. And that's been the big focus this year. And so realizing that when I get new coaches who sign on, and they tell me they want to work the business, I give them all the tools that they need they know that I'm there 100% for them when they have questions. I work like very closely with all my coaches. I probably respond way too fast when they ask me questions, and I'm always available. And so I am mentoring them that way. But if they like go MIA, or if they aren't doing the things that I'm teaching them, or if they're like asking dumb questions that I'm like, are you doing the training? Like, everything you're asking me is in the training. Go do it. So I am much more like, you've got it in your hands. If you want it, then I'm going to be able to see it, because you're going to be asking me questions and you're going to be like needing things and whatever. But then there's those coaches that they say they want it and they don't do anything. And I'm just like, all right, good luck with that, you know? And I don't drag them along anymore, which before, if they said they wanted it and they said then I was like really reaching and trying to motivate them, and I don't waste time on that anymore.
Okay. All right. So let's jump a little bit. So let's go to Nate's question about, when you talk about challenge groups now with your team, are you running, are you teaching them to run their own? Are you running team challenge groups? And is that different than what you used to do at the beginning? Like, how have you evolved in that as well?
So I've always liked bigger groups. I hate when you have a group of like 10 people and 9 of them are wallflowers and it's just you posting. And so I've always done team challenge groups, and at least provided a place where if a coach if they didn't feel comfortable running their own, they could co-host with me and add their challengers in. So I always provide that for my coaches still. When I'm making a group, I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to be starting a mixed group on this date. Here's the link if you want to jump in and co-host with me, or if you want to be a challenger. Because that's one thing that I've really stressed, is at the beginning, once a discounter got on, I was like, oh, score, like they're in, I got them on my leg, whatever. It was all quantity over quality. And I kind of like forgot about them, honestly. That's bad to say, but that's how I was. And now I see the importance of treating those discount coaches just like perma challengers and supporting them and being an awesome coach. And maybe their time will come, maybe it won't, that they actually want to coach, but making sure that they know that they have a place to be a challenger forever is super crucial. And it has made a big difference, because before it was like I was trying to recycle discount coaches like crazy when they were on for 1 or 2 months for Shakeology and then dropping off. Whereas now they stay for a long time and they get involved in the team culture and they see the bigger picture about what Beachbody is all about and stuff like that. So getting them involved in the team challenge groups has been awesome, because they see more of why people stick around and why they start coaching and want to make it a lifestyle. But yeah, so I always do a team group, and then I have most of my leaders branch off and do their own with their teams. And so it's mostly letting the new coaches have a place to run their groups, because they're only getting 2 or 3 people and whatever, and they don't want to run their own. So yeah.
So and do they break off at Diamond, and when they go Star Diamond? When about?
I mean, not necessarily. We don't have like a K, you're Diamond, see ya. It's just kind of a when you feel like it. And I have lots that are Emeralds, but that have been around for a while, that do their own with like their success partner, or they team up with a few other in the team page and they do their own thing. And so yeah, it's just whatever. It's not a set in stone anything.
Okay, so to continue with Nate's, I know you covered the GSR. I mean, you talked about them watching the videos. You don't do a GSR video, do you? Or what? You just have training videos available to them?
Yeah, so as soon as my getting started process is like, okay, so I made a welcome video that just, basically this is how I run my business. If I get sick of typing something or doing something over and over and over, I make a video for it, or I do something to make it duplicatable. So I was sick of like telling everyone what was entailed as soon as they signed up to coach and whatever. So I made a welcome video that said, hey, we're excited, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be adding you to this challenge group, this team page, this new coach group. And I explain it. I explain their expectations, like kind of setting them up for, you're going to get thrown a lot of information thrown at you. Don't feel overwhelmed. Start your personal development. Be a challenger. I just kind of give them an overview in this welcome video. So they get that as soon as they sign up. I shoot them a message on Facebook and say, hey, here's a quick welcome video. I'm going to be adding you to these groups. And then I message them later and I tell them what the groups are. Okay. And then I get them access to the new coach training that has, it's just 21 days and they have their little login for it. And they get started with that. And I created new coach checklists so that they have, I just recently did this actually, so that they have more of a focus, so that I have like a week 1 checklist, and then I have a month 1 checklist, and then an emerald to diamond, like 30 to 90 day checklist. And so it just gives them a really focused list of things that they need to be doing, instead of feeling like they need to be doing everything or worrying about this and this, when really that doesn't matter at the beginning. So that's how I get my new coaches started. It's pretty low key.
Does that replace the BAT or the 7-day quick start guide?
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
Okay.
But it's basically, I mean, like, same concept.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you've made it your own. I mean, you've created your own tools, and you're using them as opposed to what the company provides.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so the next question is, what do you do when coaches get stuck in Emerald, and how do you motivate them to keep it up and get to Diamond? But let me add to this. I had this at a retreat this weekend. You know, take it from, certainly from how do you motivate at Emerald, but how do you motivate your new coaches as well? So kind of tie all that together.
Okay, so that's a tough one, because I've helped a lot of people get to Diamond, which is cool, but I still have a lot of people that are like in Emerald City for like a year and a half, and I'm like, hello, what are you doing? But I think it's just, I don't know, maybe I suck in this department. I think it's just building. At the beginning, I was really focused. Diamond was like the milestone, you know, Diamond. But now I see Diamond isn't that awesome, but 2-star is really cool. So I think like helping people see past Diamond and seeing 2-star then makes Emerald like a piece of cake, and Diamond cool, but not that awesome, and they keep moving. So Emerald, I just in my training and stuff, when I'm going over, I'm like, Emerald's a choice. You either make it happen or you don't. But you all know 2 people. Hey, like, you all know 2 people that you can get signed up and open up your business, because that's when your business is officially open. When you can get the team cycle, you can benefit from the team growth and all that stuff. So I think just downplaying Emerald helps a lot for new coaches to get there, because they don't feel like, oh my gosh, Emerald is like this huge milestone and whatever. It's like, it's kind of easy, so make it happen. Getting past that, I've just tried to teach, like, okay, you got to Emerald, now just do it again. Like, just get to Emerald this week. Make Emerald. Like, do what you know. You know how to sign 2 coaches, so sign 2 more coaches. You know how to teach your coaches how to sign a coach, because that's what you know. So you duplicate what you know, and that's how it slowly happens. And it seems less scary. Like even when you're at Diamond, you're thinking, okay, well, crap, what do I do now? It's like, get your spouse to Diamond. You already got to Diamond. Now get your spouse to Diamond. You just like keep getting Diamond over and over and over again in all your business centers, and things just blow up. But I don't know. It's this business is so basic and simple. It's like you just sign up a couple coaches here and there, and you keep doing that, and you keep teaching your coaches how to do that. But yeah, so I think just duplicating what they know helps it seem less overwhelming.
I think that you're spot on. I love this call because I love how simple you are. I mean, the idea of duplicate what you know is key. I mean, so many of them want to know everything, and it's like, you know, just, okay, wait, stop. Like, you don't need to know everything. So if the question was, how do you motivate your coaches? How would you answer that? You're talking about setting milestones and kind of pushing in that direction, or go ahead.
So I would say recognition is huge. Some people do gifts and stuff. I do gifts at Diamond, but I don't do gifts at Emerald, which I think could ultimately help more people get Emerald. But I feel like it's such a little baby bump milestone that I don't want to have to deal with sending out that many gifts, because I don't have time for that. So recognition is huge. even within your team page, not only within your team page, but on your public wall and things like that, and helping their people see that they're legit and like they're credible helps their businesses. So that's something that motivates them. We have a leader retreat that I'm planning in April. That will be fun. So that's motivating. I think it's just kind of keeping things fresh and having them always have something to work towards. Like I'm teamed up right now with 4 other top coaches, and we're doing a big co-team training, and that's awesome. So I think just doing things that are out of the box helps them stay like excited about everything. And that's one of the biggest things I think that make a difference in the business, is not letting people get in a rut and feel like, oh, this kind of sucks, I'm bored, or I'm stuck, or whatever. Like keeping things going and keeping things new and doing maybe incentive prizes, a fun prize or something throughout your team or whatever. Like just keeping it fun is how I motivate.
No, I like it. So, okay, so you talked a minute ago about this culture of Success Club that you kind of created when you were really focused on hitting top 10. The question comes up from Kathleen is, well, not from Kathleen, from Carla. You know, how do you create a culture of Success Club on your team? Like how, what do you do? What do you say? How are you doing that?
So recognizing it is huge, first and foremost, because I do a lot with my entire organization. I do a lot of entire organization mentoring rather than just my PS coaches, because I know that lots of them aren't getting any type of mentorship whatsoever. And I don't ever want them to feel like they're like left to hang. And so I recognize 5 levels deep, what I can see on the team page. And when new coaches are coming in, they're seeing these shout outs for Success Club and the 3 Lives Club and the 5 Lives Club. And they're like, what is this? And what is this all about? I want to get on the board. And people are all excited that they're on the board. And so I think just creating that and creating the hype around it has been huge for new coaches. Honestly, it's funny because when I first started, I had a really hard time with some coaches that were like, Success Club is all about points. And I don't sell things, and I don't want to be pushed to his Success Club because it's just points and I want to help people. And I was like, dude, you're freaking ridiculous, because the only way to help people is to hit Success Club. And so we had I remember it was like a few months worth when there was like a negative vibe around Success Club because it was about points and pushing points and not helping people. And then I think it honestly took some new people coming in who were like, yeah, Success Club, I'm going to hit it, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of got the hype around it again. And Scotty Hobbs posted a video on the 3 Lives Club and the 5 Lives Club. And I shared that. And I'm like, you guys, I have told you this from day one, but this is what it's about. It's not about the points. It's about the lives that you're changing. And we want to build a solid foundation around Success Club because that's what it's about. Changing lives every single month. But just I think seeing that video helped some of the negative Nancys be like, oh, okay, maybe that is really about changing lives and whatever. But so just creating that culture around this is what needs to happen if you want to be successful, if you want to change people's lives, if you want to really be able to impact someone. I always tell them Success Club is a great start because they're getting on the right path. But when you become a part of our team and start coaching with us, that's when your life changes, because that's when you're developing that, you're in that community and it becomes a lifestyle change and it becomes something bigger than just a 21-day challenge. Mm-hmm. So I really focus on that too when I'm announcing I do Success Club PV and then the top team builders. I'm like, Success Club Rockstars are awesome, they're changing lives, but the team builders, that's where the magic is happening, because they're bringing these people into a whole completely this new lifestyle that will change their life if they fully engulf themselves in personal development and everything the Beachbody has to offer. So just praising the things that you want to happen and that will grow people and the organization and your team are what people will gravitate to and make their goals. So
Okay. Okay. So just real quick, what was the video? It was Scotty Hobbs.
Yeah, Scotty Hobbs. I think it's like Success. I don't even know. I have no idea what it's called. But he just talked about the 3 Lives Club and the 5 Lives Club and how getting Success Club was changing 3 lives. I don't even remember.
3 lives, 5 lives. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Somebody's out there. 3 Lives Club. Okay, so let's go back before I jump to social media. Talk to me. I was at a retreat this weekend, and it was awesome. And we went through a bunch of things. And the big question that seems to always come up is, how do you get your new coaches started right? Like what is and you've covered a little bit of this, but you signed me up as a new coach. Like, what is it that you're going to do that gets me kind of my head in the game? I mean, are you, and through these best of the best calls, we've heard that some coaches really do a good job of setting expectation before I become a coach, and some pick me up when I say, hey, I want the challenge back, and now they do an hour GSR or whatever to make sure I'm dialed in, and now I'm running that way. How do you do it? What is your method to get me as a new coach to be successful?
So in my welcome video that they get right off the bat, I talk about, okay, my goal for you is to never have to pay for your Shakeology again, which would happen if you help 3 people with challenge packs each month. So that's always our goal, is Success Club, helping 3 people with challenge packs. So I get it just kind of in their ear, understanding that they probably have no clue what I'm talking about, or maybe won't even remember it. But as they're going through the training and then we go over Success Club, they'll be like, oh, okay, this is Success Club. This is what she was talking about, 3 people. And so what I honestly try and do the most, and what I found when my new coaches aren't engaging in my challenge group, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's the first red flag that they're like not doing anything. Because if you're not being active in the group and getting that challenger experience and then sharing that publicly, I'm like, you're never gonna get your business off the ground if you're not being a product of the product and sharing it. You have to, hands down, no matter what, you have to do those things to get some interest going, to build some credibility, to let people know what you're doing, so that when you randomly invite them, they're not like, what? Like, you're weird. I haven't even seen any of your posts, or, I'm not about that. So that's the first thing that I really try and focus on, is really helping them get involved in the group and sharing their journey. And then I talk about in my welcome video, getting started with either slide edge or compound effect, just because those ones are so basic, but they just set the tone for the baby steps and consistency every single day that it takes to be successful. And so I really try and get my new coaches into personal development ASAP, because I put that off for months, because I was like, oh, I'm fine, I'm happy, whatever. And then as soon as I dove into that, I saw huge changes in myself and in how I went about the business, and how just it changed so much for me. So I want them to really, I check in with them and I'm like, what are you reading? What are you doing this? Da, da, da. And like kind of make sure that they're doing those basic things. And then just when they're talking to me about questions and things, I'm like, and I make sure that they know, okay, I have a group starting on this date. Let's help you get 3 people into this group. And I'm just kind of working with them one-on-one on how to create a challenge post and how to put themselves out there and start inviting some of their friends that they know would love it and that type of thing. So getting Success Club in the first month is super motivating to them, to just have baby wins along the way, just little things here and there, their first challenge pack sale, their first whatever. All those baby wins are building that confidence and helping them feel like, hey, I can really do this. I can really do this. But when you have coaches that are sitting there not having success with anything, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. And then they want to quit. And so just being really engaged with them in those first couple months, I think is what I focus on the most. I don't do one-on-one calls, but I am talking one-on-one with them in Messenger like a lot. And so, I don't know.
Okay, no, I love it. I mean, I think that that breaks it down pretty simple. I mean, I love the focus on getting your Shakeology paid for, never pay for it, at all. I mean, never paying for it again.
Yeah.
You brought up a little bit earlier, and I think you just kind of briefly brushed over it there. Talk a little bit about the power of three. Like, what is that concept? I know that in a lot of organizations, that's something they kind of talk about a lot, but you just kind of mentioned it. What is that?
Yeah. So I think it was Amy, what's her name? Amy
Silverman? Amy who?
No, Amy something. Maybe it wasn't even Amy. I don't remember. Someone who originally posted the power of threes. And then Anne, that's it. Anne, what's her last name? I don't know.
Gray? No. Anne Parker? Anne
Reed? No.
Reed.
Annie? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't remember. But anyways, I saw hers. Okay, I think that's it. I saw hers and I was like, okay, this is awesome. Because I wasn't loving the tracker. Whatever Beachbody's tracker was, I couldn't make it work for me. It was like not my style. And I saw that and I'm like, okay, I can make this work. So then I revamped it and changed it up and made it how I taught, what I was implementing in my own business and what I was teaching my coaches to do. So I just added some things and I can't remember how it's different, but it's ours. So it's just the basics. It's, I say 3 invites, or maybe I say 3 building relationships. Do you remember, Jalen?
Yeah, it's 3 invites, but it's 5 building relationships.
Okay. So I focus a lot, and I have YouTube videos where you could learn about my business all on YouTube, but I don't do like personal message invites, like 3 a day like that. I build my business in waves. So I have a season of invites where I'm filling a group and I'm not even reaching out and inviting, but I'm counting the people that reach out to me as an invite type of thing. But anyways, so this is how I teach it at the beginning though, for new coaches to get started and to build their business is 3 invites, connecting and adding value to people's lives, 3 social media posts a day. What else is there? Follow-ups. I think there's like 5 or 7 follow-up spots. And then personal development, product of the product, and like a national wake-up call, team call, training, whatever. There's a slot for that. So it's just all the basics that you honestly should be able to bust out in an hour. And I focus hardcore. Oh, and adding to your network. Yes. And I focus hardcore on building relationships and adding value because I feel like there's so many people who are sending these invites and like always doing these challenge group posts and doing all these things, but they're not spending the time to be genuine and to really just be interested in people, where that is where the magic happens. When they feel like she actually cares about me and she actually, wants to know about my life and my family and blah, blah, blah. It takes, and I tell my coaches this all the time, it takes months and months and months of me liking and commenting and just being present with people before they ever reach out to me or whatever. But that's how I feel comfortable running my business, because I don't ever want to be the Beachbody shark who is always like after people, like, come do my group, come do this, I'm inviting you to this, and like, that's never, I was afraid of that side of it when I became a coach. And so naturally I've developed habits and learned how to not be that, and building relationships and doing behind the scenes stuff and really being present in the little things, liking, commenting, messaging, just all those little things that make all the difference, I feel like. And so, yeah, that's what our Power of Threes is.
Okay. So let's jump to social media, right? So let's talk briefly about how you build on social media, which platform you're having the most success in, and then what do you do with, boosting ads and Facebook ads and things like that. So first, kind of dive into how you approach social media.
Okay, so I built my business like 99.9% on social media, and the majority of it started on my personal page. I didn't do anything with a like page for months into the business. And then even when I did start a like page, I was just kind of putting content there. I wasn't really using it to grow my business at all. And then I do Instagram. So I have just barely started boosting and stuff on social media. So on my like page. So anytime I'm running a sneak peek or anytime I'm doing a challenge group, I'm filling a challenge group, I'm boosting those. And then every once in a while, I'll boost like a size video or just something random just to get new eyes on the page. And I'm getting lots of my random coaches who I don't know through my personal page and whatever are coming from my like page now that I'm targeting markets and stuff like that. So that's fun to see because for the longest time it was warm network and even like outskirts of my warm network, people who knew me personally. And then Instagram, I have worked on building that. I just hired a guy to do all the monotonous stuff, like the liking and commenting and following. And I give him specific hashtags and my target market. And then he will search those hashtags and do the liking and commenting. And then I build a relationship from that point. Like I'm really active in commenting back and going to their page and engaging in their page and doing those things. It's just like the little things that are annoying that you wish you could skip, but they seriously make the biggest difference.
How did you do it in the beginning?
Just, I did everything on my personal page and everything on Instagram was just, I didn't have any clue what I was doing. I was just posting the same thing basically that I was posting on my personal page and hashtagging like a couple times. Like I didn't know anything. And then I watched an Instagram training on like the 30 hashtags. And so then I started implementing that. And then just like little things that I would learn along the way, I would start implementing. But like going back and looking at my posts at the beginning, it was like bad. Not good at all.
Yeah. All right, so Nate is asking, when you say random coaches, do you mean they are signing up without telling you? Or are you walking them through the sign-up process?
No, I've never once had a coach randomly sign up or anything like the cool coaches have. I am always engaged in the people. I just meet people who are saying, I'm interested in learning about the sneak peek, and then I get them into the sneak peek group, and I build a relationship, and I learn more about them and do all that stuff, and I'm helping them sign up. That's what I mean by random, is just people who are not following me or haven't been following me for months and months and months and then finally reaching out. It's just people who see the boosted post and are like, hey, that looks cool.
Okay.
And then check it out.
So then to stay on social media for a minute, give me the detail of, I mean, do you have a strategy now on what you're posting? I mean, what are you posting every day? Are you posting, when you say 3 times a day, we've heard the jab, right hook thing, that you're not inviting every time you post, you're not inviting every day. I mean, how do you approach when you invite as opposed to what you're just posting in general?
So I have no type of social media schedule. I don't do any, whatever they're called. What are the scheduler things? Hootsuite?
Yeah, Hootsuite, yeah.
I don't do any of that. I'm not organized. I'm not whatever. I am strictly sharing my life and what is going on. And honestly, so if I don't have anything cool going on, I'll post like an inspirational quote or whatever. Like if it's just a boring day, then I'll like go to something like that. But generally it's just what's going on in my life. So there are days when I'm not posting 3 times a day and there's days when I'm posting 5 times a day. But I think that's kind of probably what has attracted lots of people to my pages, is that it's not inspirational quote in the morning, nutritious recipe at lunch, and my workout at nighttime. Like it's not blah, blah, blah. It's just like whatever the heck is going on. Like obviously right now I'm pregnant, so I'm talking a lot about like labor and asking moms questions and things like that. And my daughter just started school. So it's like very much my life unfolding before their eyes on social media. As far as like my like page, so the way that I separate it now is I don't ever want my personal people to get sick of me posting. I don't ever want them to hide me. And so I do all my personal stuff on my personal page, fitness stuff on my fitness page, but then I'll tag my personal page on my fitness page so that it still can be seen by both. And then Instagram is just a mix. It's my life, it's fitness, it's not solely fitness or solely whatever. That is my lifestyle. And that's what I've branded from the beginning, is what Beachbody has done for our life, not just fitness and nutrition things. So I'm posting my kids, and I'm posting things that let people know me. And then I think that helps because they say, I feel like I know you. I feel like, I feel like we're best friends. Like when you get messages like that, that means you're doing something right because you're letting them in. And that's when they trust you enough to share their struggles and their goals and ask you for help. So I think that's super important on social media. If you're going to try and build your business there, it has to be you in a raw version, and it can't just be this cookie cutter Micah Folsom fit. I'm perfect all the time and I got my stuff together. Like, no, that's not it at all. So I think that's why they relate though.
But then how many times a month do you think you send out an invite to something?
So I post, I usually do 1 or 2 challenge group promotion, like actual legit, I'm filling a challenge group posts, 1 or 2, and then I do 2 to 3 sneak peek actual posts. So like I had one just barely start on, like today's the fifth day, and so today I posted again that it was the last day, so I'll throw a few more people in. So it's like I'm posting for one group, but I posted a couple times, and I'll do that usually twice throughout the month. Okay. And that's always on my like page and on Instagram. And then every few months I'll do one on my personal page because I'll always have random people that don't see my like page that are on there that will want in. So
okay. All right, so we're getting questions, but we're going to be running out of time here in a minute. Where was it? Do you do 30-day challenge groups, new info each month, or do you do whole different set of posts every month?
So speaking of challenge groups, from the beginning, so my groups, they vary. They usually go the duration of the program that most people are doing, but lately they've been doing lots of mixed groups. So it'll be kind of a 30 to 60 day type thing, depending on the activity. So when engagement starts to die down, then I will close out the group and invite the ones that want to go on to the next one, to the next one. But honestly, my whole thing is by 30 days, people are either MIA and have fallen off the wagon, or they're now coaching with me. And so they're getting started in another group as a coach for that side of it. So I do new groups. I don't have one like ongoing thing. And the only reason I would love to do an ongoing thing, because I feel like that's really awesome, is to just make that culture of a healthy lifestyle. But I always want a place for my new coaches to have new people to come in. So that's like my internal struggle, is I don't know how to like make those two work together. But I don't post, I don't have scheduled posts. I don't have like a template or things that I post. In my challenge groups, I am strictly a glorified challenger. Like I post my accountability sweaty pic. I post like what I'm eating, maybe like a hoorah, keep going, whatever tip. But other than that, I am like on their level and just encouraging and motivating and being an example. And I think that's what helps so many of them feel like, dude, I could do what she's doing. She's really not that cool. Like she just posts her sweaty pics like me, so I can do it. And they're not overwhelmed and they're not intimidated by me trying to be the coach person who's always doing training and doing like, these things where they're like, I don't know that stuff. I could never do that. So I keep it really simple. And that's how I run every single group. I don't have anything scheduled or planned out or whatever.
Well, no, I love that concept. I mean, your whole thing is just be real and be simple. Like if you're those two things, you're going to be fine.
That's right.
Getting a question about, do you run free groups? Or is it, yeah, go ahead.
So every once in a while, I'll do like a free clean eating group. I'm not huge on them just because I am able to fill my challenge groups and my sneak peek groups, and I'm always engaged in people that are actually investing in it. And so I don't want to take away from that just to do these free groups. But every once in a while, I'll do a random free clean eating group or a Whole30 group or something like that just to throw it in the mix. And I encourage my coaches to do that. That's part of our new coach training, is to start a 7-day clean eating group, like within a week of starting to coach, because I think it's so awesome to build relationships and to do all those things. But just at the point of my business, one sec, my daughter just got home, so I got to go open the door.
Okay. We'll take a commercial break here. No.
Yeah. Hey, baby love.
Nothing anywhere because the yellow thing isn't there.
Uh-oh. Okay, we'll find it. 1 second, love. I'm almost done, okay?
Johnny,
Okay.
Love it. You know what? We just got done talking about keeping it real. It's
Right.
perfect timing. She even came in on cue. That was awesome.
I know, right?
Okay, so real quick, you brought up sneak peeks briefly. You said you do run those. Are they video based? How are you doing them? Are you doing 6-day, 5-day, 3-day? What are you doing?
Yeah, I do 5-day sneak peeks, and I actually, so before I had a template or whatever where the first day was, now I'm trying to think. The first day was what is coaching. The second day was stories, like my story along with like 4 or 5 other coaches. The third day was what does Beachbody have to offer, and I listed the links to a bunch of the programs, to Shakeology, and then to the financial side of it, like just some stories, financial success stories. And then the 4th day was how to earn, and the 5th day was like a wrap up. But the videos, like there was kind of a lot of videos and it was kind of a lot of information. And so after listening to Megan's Best of the West call, my just previous one, I decided to do all new videos and keep them like 5 minutes long, and it's all me, where before I was really focused on making it so that my whole team could use it. So it's still a place where I keep it open and my whole team will be adding people in it constantly throughout the month. They just go check out, all the posts are there. So this previous one, I did all me, 5 days, and there's like a 5-minute video, and I kind of followed her outline and just did welcome introduction, a little bit about me. I want to know about you. The second day I did what are coaches, what are they not, and then I shared my 2-year Beachbody anniversary story. The third day I did how do you build a business, and I talked about social media. The 4th day I did how to earn, and the 5th day was just a wrap up. So I'm seeing how the two do. And that's what I think is so cool, is just, I feel like some people kind of get stuck in, they have their set ways and they don't ever want to change it. And that's what I see in some of my coaches. When they kind of get in a rut, they're like, I don't know why I'm staying here. I don't know why I can't grow. And it's like, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm doing the same stuff I've always done. And I'm like, well, that might be your problem. Like it's so important to always be evolving and growing and learning. And as a leader, especially, because what you do has the ripple effect on your entire organization. So not being afraid to try new things, because what I was doing before was really working well and was having a good coach sign-up rate. But at the same time, there were some people who would never get through the group and whatever. And so you always wonder, like, is it because it's too long, or is it boring, or whatever? So I just tried this one, so we'll see how it goes. But
well, yeah. Hey, I think you are awesome. I've got great takeaways from this call. I love that it's recognition, duplication, consistency, obviously social media, be real, be simple, and then your close right there of evolve, grow, and learn is fantastic. So, let's go ahead and close the call. Is there any, takeaways? If you were given the parting advice to this, group of coaches, what would you tell them?
Oh man. What would I tell them? Probably the most important thing you can do is to just be real, and to just not be afraid of failing forward, because you're going to do things and you're going to try new things that don't work and that totally flop. And it's not because you suck as a coach. It's just because you got to work some kinks out and you got to figure out what works for you. So just being a sponge always, but then having your blinders on at the same time and doing what's you, I feel like is what you have to set yourself apart in a business like this. When there's 300-something thousand coaches and there's probably 10 Beachbody coaches on every one of your friends' news feeds, like you have to be that coach that stands out and that they want to connect with, and not let yourself blend in with every single other coach. So I don't know. Just
all right. I love it. Micah, you're fantastic. I love the concept of fail forward, and quite honestly, that's another real key takeaway to this. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for being on the call. We'll get this recording posted as quick as we can. Joe Carden is reminding me, if you're on his mastermind call, he does want you to post your takeaways to that group. And we'll see you next week, guys, on the Best of the Best in the West call. Thank you, Micah.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.